And Stuart, it is Wednesday again.
It is.
What is
Comes
that?
around once a week.
We can't avoid it, can we?
No.
We try.
No, but it's a good day.
With Mission Briefing Day, which takes a look at any ship from the broad spectrum of the Trek universe. Fan, non-canon, canon. We've been doing this a long time, guys, so we're looking at some other really fun fan designs. And this one is a fan design. We'll see if you like it or not. It's an interesting one. So what are we looking at today on this Mission Briefing?
Today we are looking at the Bradbury class. Now, this was designed. You can get it. It's available from kenscrap.com. Designed by Kenny Mitchell, I think, in 2010. Is the information we got. So, yeah, it looks like a interesting little ship, to say the least.
This is one of those available Lightwave 3 models that have been out there for obviously a lot of years now, and you sort of see pop up all over the place because it's available and people like to try doing new things. So I've seen this for years, and I've seen some fun fan animations, but it's such a taking the concept of the gentle curve and applying it to everything. It is how I take it. You know, let's design take the Enterprise D mechanic and style, but push it in the future direction, but keep it super in line. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think of the design?
It's very, very simple. It's very to the point. I mean, I like the addition of the Bizarre Collectors up front. I mean, I've drawn up a ship before that has something similar to that, which is very cool. So yeah, it doesn't look very big either, which is cool. It's one of those smaller kind of scout class ships, I think, which is neat.
Yeah, I'm wondering, having the Bassards. I mean, the visual it's awesome. And the colour's great, although having the plasma feeding through the entire length of the ship to the nacelle seems
dangerous.
Yeah,
and dumb.
Yeah.
Especially with windows right beside them.
And just with phaser strips literally next to it, it's like, wow, we're pumping the fuel, next to the phaser strips. Not.
Well, they collect hydrogen and they just transfer the hydrogen back. It's not really plasma per se. I don't know how the Bizarres work exactly. We need to do an episode on that research.
It's cool. It's one of those fun, simple ones I wanted to show off because people have been thinking about it for a while. But there's other design cues. So Stuart, let's go to the next picture. The back. It's cool. It's different again.
Yeah, I like those engines actually. Those are kind of neat. From the front view, they looked a little odd. I mean, they still look odd here, but I do like the addition of the kind of like the dual exhaust at the back. I don't know what those are exactly.
I assume they're impulse drives.
That would be really super cool because there are no other visible ones, are there? Wow, that's cool.
Well, it's like he's trying to incorporate every piece, and like he drew the initial frame and it's like, oh crap, I've got to add impulse engines. Oh crap, got to add shuttle bay. Oh crap, got to add Bassards. All right, let's quickly. That's really I really like it. It's a weird sort of set of shapes, having it be so thin up top and then suddenly boom out. But it kind of balances quite well, actually.
Yeah. I am interested in why there's such a wide, like, almost step on the nacelles. I mean, we might see better views that explain it a little bit later. But from here, it just looks odd. It looks like literally there's grip tape there for someone to take a step on. But it's a neat take on it, for sure. Going to the next picture, there's a shot of it from... here you go. That's why it's like that.
Yes.
You knew that, didn't you?
I went ahead because I was like, oh, is there not? Oh, my God.
So it's like two Excelsior hulls almost, kind of strapped together. It's got a very boat-like feel here.
Yeah. And there isn't that much on this view, so I'm assuming that's an after-peer launcher, I'm assuming. But let's jump to the next picture because that really shows it off. Super shrunk down Excelsior hulls.
Wow.
With warp nacelles on top of them.
That's interesting. I mean, why not? Why not?
The scaling does not work remotely.
No, I was going to say that. That's what next thing I was going to say.
Amazingly
it does hold more people than I initially thought when I first saw the first picture of it, which I thought was just the saucer and then the engines, right?
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. The scaling doesn't really work, except for the fact that he did add the escape pods on the side, which are scaled correctly to the ship's shape. and size. But the windows then are odd at best.
I mean, the Excelsior hull is huge. It's a very, very large hull. Now, I'm fine with the ship being made out. I mean, that it's basically saying, right, we're not an elegant craft, but boy, we need a lot of internal volume. That's the sort of ship that you build by having 2 Excelsior hulls and a big primary hull between them. That's, you know, that's for purpose. You know.
Yeah, and there's an interesting cannon there. It looks like it's almost on a turret as well. Like, I wonder if it turns.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's like
Well, yeah, the
positionable phaser lance.
Well, yes, it's the same rough design. I mean, the fact that there's that slight step before it hits the saucer, that implies that it's actually slightly off. Yeah, I mean, if it's got enough maneuverability, it could turn relatively effective enough to get a line of fire. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. If it's kind of like a tank in that regards, then, which is neat.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really cool view. It kind of has take out the secondary hulls, but the primary hull looks like the Lost in Space craft from the now the not newest one, but the new not newest one. Kind of has that same egg vibe. But I'm looking at there's lots of really interesting details. You've got those under blue grill things, but then you've also got what appears to be shuttle hatch things either side in front of the deflectors, and you know they're clearly doors of some kind.
Yeah.
What do you think?
My guess would be some kind of shuttle elevator, perhaps. Barring that, it could be some kind of like landing gear for when and if this thing separates. Or maybe it's small enough that it can land on a planet.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Although other than it's separated from 2 secondary hulls, and then just like, oh, well now we're in 3.
Just like your beloved Prometheus.
Yes, but that was designed.
Each secondary hull has its own nacelle too, so they're both warp capable, I guess.
Yeah, sure. I'm also maybe those hatches are more the cargo doors, because there's only a single shell bay at the back, and you don't just want to overload whatever's happening. But if you fed into there, then it would be on a straight line into the secondary hull. Whereas if you put into the top one, then it'd be slightly more steps in the process of getting into the secondary hull.
Yeah. Now, what about those odd-shaped ones that look like the eyebrows from the original Constitution class?
Well,
those are just...
I mean, the Excelsior does have cutout. There's like a ring of cutout there's just... that? I don't know.
And the blue part, I mean, I was wondering what that could be, but again, like with the Constitution class, there's that lower planetary sensor dome. Maybe this is like, those are sensors, like even like we see on the bottom of the old Earth.
Yeah.
There's even similar blue on the bottom of the secondary hulls, but if this is a scientific survey ship, it could just be, sensors pointed down at the planet to gather as much information as possible.
Or something even simpler. If you look slightly above them, that's where the Bassards are. Maybe that's just the fuel storage, and then maybe because of the way it's done, you can then the fuel tanks can slide out and get picked up by someone else.
Maybe that's the water park on the ship. When you're in the pool, you can look down and see space because it's a translucent bottom.
That would be cool. And then the Bassards are above you, so you can just have a ceiling of red plasma that just moves elegantly, and then below you stars.
Yeah, maybe this is the citation ship. Maybe this is where the other citations serve, because they kind of phase that out of the other ships.
And so those other doors, the hatches, are the ones that the whales can go in. There's a whale tank pieces.
Or the large whale shuttlecraft that they need.
Yes! I mean, they're well shaped with a bigger front and a smaller back for the tail. God, imagine what the designer's like. Where are you getting this from? We're like, no, it makes sense. It makes sense. It's a whale craft.
And the designer probably hates us right now. He's like, no, I need to contact these people. Please do. Please come talk to us.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, the scale. I mean, I'm kit bashing is a funny one, because in the Trek shows they for the most part, kind of kept it cleverly kit-bashed. And by that, I mean it didn't go stupid. But bar like the Jaeger, which is a ridiculous combination. Although it has an interesting look, it just doesn't make any sense. A lot of the kit-bash is kind of like, oh, okay, I mean, the Centaur and stuff, pieces don't match size-wise, but it works together as a piece. This one, the fact that those secondary hulls are so unchanged, like I would have had them combine or something, alter the... I'm assuming maybe that wasn't part of his 3D ability to alter it too much more. I don't know. But I would have liked to have seen it the more unique, unless this is just a ginormous ship, which I guess is okay, but
well, if you go to the next picture,
yep.
Saying that the size of these windows up here and the bridge module and stuff just doesn't jive with the secondary hulls.
No. Yeah.
But
I mean, this one's like Nova class sized. It's teeny.
Yeah, exactly. Again, this is a neat view, actually. I really like this. It kind of gives a new take on the whole Federation aesthetic. Once you take those Bizarre collectors and move them somewhere else, it's just like, you can do different things with that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But I don't mind the ship at all, actually. It looks really cool.
It's
not very heavily armed. Well, I guess it is. It's got strips on the bottom of the secondary hull.
It's basically armed. No, yeah. It's obviously something for a purpose. Something a bit more specific. I kind of wish.
Having said that too, so I forgot about the turret on the bottom. Yeah, this thing's heavily armed. Never mind, I said that. Relative
to its scale. No, I kind of wish though. I mean, I don't. The bridge model is a bit weird. It kind of falls under the Excelsior style, which is just a piece like that. But I kind of wish, based on everything being so organic, it like the Enterprise Z, it has that piece at the back which integrates into the neck. I wish that had been that integrating into the nacelles. That would have been really interesting. And make it curves again. It could have flowed really nicely, and then have a more distinctive bridge dome, which does have some windows with loads of presumably observation room of some kind.
Or the walkway around the bridge could have a view. Yeah,
but I think there's a missed opportunity to have them be different shapes. Doesn't make a lot of sense to link it in with warp nacelles, but since you've got impulse engines in them anyway, this is a different sort of ship. Everything is integrated. Look at the Basards. I mean, it's all integrated.
The next shot is the rear of the shuttle bay. Again, a fairly decent sized bay, even if it is a small ship. I can see like 3 or 4 speedboats being able to fit side by side, kind of in there. And looks like you got some observation windows above it, which is neat.
Yeah, that's what they are. Be fun if they were torpedo launchers, though.
Ooh, that would be cool. Yeah.
Weird
are there any? I haven't seen any launchers on this thing.
Well, if you go to the next picture, I believe this is meant to be, I'm assuming, the launchers. I mean, if you look at the Excelsior, they only have those whole slit things. This would sort of fall under that, although again, the scaling is just... I mean, the scaling, my goodness, these are big launchers.
Yeah. Slightly. Yeah, when I initially saw those on the bottom, I thought they were like docking ports for like a...
inspection shuttle.
But but they're an odd angle. It just wouldn't work, I don't think, and they're too big.
Well, they look like bird of prey.
Yeah.
Torpedoes.
Torpedo. Yeah.
I mean, it would certainly fit that hole of defense, and they've got phase strips right underneath, so that would be decent. There's no forward torpedo launchers as far as I could see.
No, unless the cannon does it. Maybe who knows?
I don't know. And you're right. Those under pieces are definitely the same texture as the top piece of the blue piece inside the saucer. So it's all the same technology, which implies form to follow the function, or function to follow the form. I don't know.
Or whales. Again, whales. Those holes that we're talking about, the torpedo launchers, could be for them going out in their space whale suits.
There'd be whales here, lassie.
Put on their space suits and they just fly out there.
Whale space suits. The next picture confirms the assumption that these are impulse drives, nice and impulsy.
And very cool looking. I like those a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Very, very cool design, very cool shapes there. So,
I mean, how do you feel about impulse drives being inside of a warp nacelle, because it's all pretty. Technology you don't want to go to go faulty, to be broken. Like, it's all pretty. Keep it on the up and up.
I don't have a problem with it. It actually makes sense to me to attach the impulse engines to the nacelle, or actually have them integrated in some form. I think it works, and it's a good idea. I don't know why it hasn't been done more often. I know in Star Trek Online we see them incorporated into the struts, which again is a cool place to put them. So this is kind of like that next evolutionary step. They're migrating from the saucer section to the struts to the nacelles themselves now. Eventually we won't even need them. They'll just fall off the back. No, maybe. No.
Yeah. I think it's a testament to this fictional universe that, as technology gets smaller, you can do more or the same warp power with less and less coil. Therefore, the space can be used for other things. That's why all this ship is chosen to stay, warp 7 ship, which means it can have less and less coils, and then integrates them other places. Yeah.
All right. Ooh, here's a close up of that cannon, which could very well launch torpedoes. Wouldn't that be neat?
Yeah. I mean, now we're seeing that little red piece. That is a classic torpedo thing.
Yeah.
Bit
maybe
weird.
It's got dual. Yeah, maybe it's got dual tubes in there, because you see those two like black segmented stripes. Could be that there's a whole torpedo room in the circular part, and there's just torpedoes along the walls, and then they load them on tracks that head straight down the tube.
So like hyper fast launching tube sort of thing.
Yeah. And of course, if it's a turret style, it's very much like a tank. Then you can aim it so you don't have to be facing your ship towards whatever it is.
That's true.
Yeah, it would be kind of neat.
It's just weird that it looks so much like the phaser lance.
Yeah.
But I think the next picture says something. This is the aft reverse view. It's got one there as well.
This one doesn't look like it moves, though. This one looks like it's integrated into the hull.
Yeah, I think they probably both are, and I guess they're both torpedoes, and I guess that's how they do them. I guess.
That would work for me. You got 4 aft then, and it looks like there's only a single one in there instead of 2, but...
It's just a very strange... Well, think about how the E integrated quantum, super integrated, some gentle curves, some hard curves. This is super... Well, force lancy, but it needs smoothing out and adding more shapes, which would work actually, given how the secondary hulls are. You could easily put an Enterprise E style just fore and aft version, chuck it in the middle. That would work really well, I think. Kind of better than this, I think. These shapes don't integrate as well with the everything's organic feel of it.
Yeah, but I have a distinct feeling that these have a distinct purpose. You know what I mean? Like that we're unaware of. So I would love to hear exactly what they are.
Even if they just rotate each, this much, that'd still be worth something, I guess.
Oh, it's an interesting ship for sure.
Escape pods there as well. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah, and that takes us to our last picture. So yeah, interesting little ship. It's got some unique features. I do love the integration of the nacelles with the secondary hull elements. That's a really neat idea. And moving the Bizarre collectors just off of the nacelles is interesting, because you're moving the impulse engines onto the nacelles. There's a lot going on. New technology here. Not sure what the blue things are on the bottom, but again, they look cool, and so does that cannon. So I'm interested to find out what that is, but pretty cool ship.
Yeah, it's more than meets the eye.
It's a transformer?
Maybe. I mean, is Bradbury a transformer name?
No, Ray Bradbury is a science fiction author. That's what it's named after, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things I would have done even more integration, which seems a bit strange to say that given how much it is, but like seeing the top of the nacelles, pull that in a bit more, integrate, that whole segment, alter the Excelsior hulls a bit. With a lot of designs, it's like it's as if you almost ran out of time or had a certain point you wanted to go to. But I think you could integrate it all a bit more and make it feel even more cool, I guess.
Yes.
But conceptually, it works really well, actually.
Yeah, it's a very good jumping off point for some. If we went in and kind of sculpted things a little differently and changed a few things, I think that'd be fun. But
it's a tremendous Mark 1.
Yes, and I'd love to talk to the designer and find out his thought process behind it, and find out if have questions.
So I bet there's more. Yeah, but there's definitely more than we think. And that'd be fun to know about. So if you guys enjoyed this, if you know the designer of this ship, then please send a message and get him to comment, and maybe we can have him on the show at some point to talk about it, and maybe even, since 2010, a Mark II, or Mark III, or Mark IV, who knows. And if you want to support this show and see more amazing content on anything, really, in Star Trek, because we do a lot of things, then support us either a one-time donation at trekyards.com, click on the donate button, it goes right to our PayPal, or a regular monthly donation at Patreon/Trekyards, because that is our sort of life's blood of you guys saying, yes, we support you, and we just make a lot of shows based on that.
That's right. And you can also help if you don't have any money. That's fine too. You can subscribe. Don't forget the bell notification icon so you get notified every time we upload. And of course, share it around wherever you think Star Trek fans will enjoy it. It all helps out, and we love spreading the word of just our love for Star Trek. So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I am Commander Coggins.
Live long and prosper, guys. Bye.